Hey, everyone! Oh my goodness! We are live.
We're live.
Oh my goodness! All the way live. It's all the way live. Listen, y'all. So we're really excited because today we decided to bring parent empowerment for everyday living to you live here on Facebook. Get excited about it. Guys, I don't know. Do they think they know who we are?
I think they know.
You think they know? Okay, who are we?
Takesha and Leo.
Yes.
And
Dr. Ada. Yes,
Yeah.
she is our health and nutrition correspondent, and we are so excited to be here with you all today. I feel like I'm going to do edits later. I can't do edits. Like, this is live, y'all. Oh my goodness. So y'all come on in, tell your friends. I tagged no one because I can't reach.
And we're live.
And we're live, right? So if you happen to jump on and you can see us, tell your friends. Takesha Michelle is on Facebook, and she's got two other people with her this time. That's okay. We got Leo. Leo, go ahead, go in there, go in. You can go ahead because we're live, so you can go ahead in, and you too. Yeah, tell your. See, this is what technology does. We're so stinking excited. They're gonna pull some folks in, y'all. We are
there too.
Is it? Yes, we gotta make it quiet. Like, turn it down. Yeah. So, why are we here? We are talking about parent empowerment for everyday living. We do this every other Thursday. We never remember if it's first and third or second and fourth, but we definitely do it every other Thursday. And we are so super excited to be with y'all live. We decided to just try something different. Yeah, you turn on it. Yep. So, we're trying something different and we're coming to y'all live. So tag your friends, which y'all can do, and tell them to join us. So today, let me tell you, we're talking about parent empowerment for everyday living. You can find it on YouTube under Takesha Michelle. You can find it, it's Takesha Michelle EDU Inside Out, because Education Inside Out is the greatest supporter, I guess we'll say.
Yeah, I mean, literally the greatest supporter of information, up-to-date information locally. So you're getting feedback and information and tips and information from folks that live amongst you. So,
oh my goodness. And even if we don't live amongst you and you're checking in with us, guess what? We're excited to help you too, because it's parent empowerment for everyday living.
That's it.
absolutely.
And you're a parent, so why not check in and see what it is that we're talking about? And Dr. Ada is going to bring the health and nutrition. Why am I talking so much? Because you all have never seen us here, and we want to make sure that you are well informed of what we're talking about. So if you're a parent, if you have kids in school, some of you, your kids just started. Some of you, your kids have been in for a while. And some of you, your kids won't start till next week, because in some states, they don't start until after Labor Day.
Which makes way more sense, but I don't.
Listen, I don't want to be in school in the middle of June, so I'm okay with this. I mean, it may make sense, and I'll take it. However, I like getting out at the beginning of June versus the middle of June. So, and I we work at a year-round school, so, or extended year school, so it doesn't even matter, right? We get breaks regardless. So, it's been great. So anyway, so we're going to get started. And I talked to them, I just took my hands down. Y'all see that? Because otherwise you all will see my hands moving the entire time. Because we're really excited. So listen, parents, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. I need to ask you, these are some heavy questions. We're going to share some great information with you. Normally we're on for about 30 minutes, but today, because we're live, we can do it how we want to.
Yeah.
But you all catch it on all edited and everything and colorful on YouTube as of next week. So we'll talk to y'all real soon. But parents, I got to ask you the question. What's the problem? What is the problem? So either school has begun or it's about to begin. And I wonder, did you even know? Or do you know when it starts? Maybe right now, because I just said it, you're actually going to go and check and find out when your kids start school. But I've been wondering, weren't you waiting? Haven't you been waiting? Some of y'all talked about it when summer first started. Oh, my grocery bill, it's about to be this, my electricity. Weren't you paying attention? Let me tell you, your phone, we talked about cell phones in the past, right?
Yes.
About the kids, but parents, they're your phone. And your phone can do way more than text and make phone calls. You have calendars, you have alarms, You have a notes section, no matter what type of phone you have. And that goes out to somebody because somebody thinks they're funny about iPhones versus
We won't mention
versus
them.
Android. We're not going to mention them, but they have jokes all the time.
All the time.
Right? So, but we have a notes section. You can take notes on your phone.
We sure can.
Notes that tell you when your kids go back to school. And please don't ever tell me or anybody else that you didn't know when.
Are there parents that didn't know when school starts?
Be surprised.
Don't be surprised because there are parents who don't know when school started and they're, what? That's their response. I didn't even know. It's on the website. It's on the internet. Go find out. If the last day of school, they told you. There are calendars that pop out. Just like you go searching social media for anything else, please go check. Please go check for the sake of your children. But let me tell you, be advised. If you don't pay attention, you will pay something. Because I don't know if you knew, but if your children are absent or truant, excessively truant, your presence will be commanded in a courtroom. Get excited about that if you like. You will be required to pay a fee or be locked up with some unfamiliar key. Let me ask you, those of you whose children have already started or who you plan to will be starting pretty soon, before arriving at school, who is the last person your children hear or see? Is it you or an influencer on YouTube TV? Are you an actively involved parent? That's what we want to know today. How actively involved are you? Are you making sure that your children get to school, and not just get to school, but get to school on time? Because when they miss the beginning, they literally miss the beginning. And then they're steady trying to play catch up. What do you think it looks like having to pay? You have to play catch up as adults in life.
Yeah.
And the farther you get behind, the harder it is to catch up. It's a snowball effect.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Man, you want your kids always playing catch up? Is that what you desire for your children? Especially if you did it. Because I wasn't, man, I used to be breaking my neck. And listen, other people, they say that they had to, this is not my age, don't do this. This is my mommy's statement. I had to walk how many miles to school? And where I'm from, in the snow.
Can I be a testament to that? I grew up in Colorado. I did have to walk to and from school in the blizzard.
Me too.
For a few miles.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
And we got to school on time because we knew, okay, it's snowing outside, put on your...
Everything.
And now instead of the 15, 20, 30 minutes, you now have 45 minutes, so leave early.
Yeah.
And school was not canceled.
It was not canceled.
It was no delay.
No delay.
You still had to be there in
Talk
class.
about it.
I mean, and then we walked home because mom and dad were still at work.
At work. Listen, I remember I had to pick, because I was real short. I mean, I'm short now, right? But I was real short back then.
Uh-huh.
So snow would come up to my knees.
And you
So we were
trenching.
marching. You march through the snow.
Trenching.
These folks, all they got to do is just go. It may be hot, but it's nothing like going to school in the snow.
There's nothing. Cold, wet, frozen toes, frozen fingers, cold nose.
It's rough. Listen,
You can
we
tell.
can tell you all about it. But listen, I want you all to be actively involved, so much so. We didn't have cell phones. My mommy was calling at 7 whatever or 6 whatever. Are you leaving? Or she would tell me, call me and let me know when you are walking out the door. That was the extent of us. We didn't have a cell phone, a pager, or nothing. I used to stand and watch the clock like this. Click, click. Waiting for the time to pass because I knew I could not miss that bus. And when I took a bus, mind you, I was still, Head Start. I had to be that kind of responsible. So now at least you understand me and why I'm so stinking rigid, because I was
instilled in us.
Right.
Yeah.
In Head Start, I had to watch the clock. Mommy taught me how to read an analog clock because she had to leave and take the siblings to daycare. She had to go to work. I was the oldest, and I'm watching the clock so that I can leave to get outside to get that bus on time.
Yeah.
I wish I would call and be like, Mom, I missed the bus.
It's not an option.
But guess what? Kids do that right now.
Mm.
And then you got to get off work. You got to figure out. Some people send their kids an Uber.
You know what? I did not know that was a thing. I've got a friend that drove Uber, and there were several times where she would drop off kids or pick up kids to and from school. Uber. I was shocked.
Wow.
Dr. Ada is shocked about a lot of things. I am excited that we can help you with the things. That's what happens when you have a 2-year-old and you have no knowledge.
I'm like, so you picked up a 9-year-old and they got it. She said they got in the car like it was nothing. So this is a routine.
It's a routine. And that is the
Like,
thing.
is that legal? Like, is that okay?
I guess it's like a taxi cab. I don't know. If it's illegal, we don't know, and we accept the children when they arrive.
Gee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just show up, someone random.
Yeah. Right, the randomness. But it happens. I have not heard, and maybe we'll check it out. And maybe you all have heard of anything that's bad or negative or whatever that's
I can
happened.
have a whole lot of things.
I can believe it, but I don't know if it's happened.
True.
I don't know. I haven't heard of anything.
I mean, by any means necessary. I mean,
That's
sometimes
right.
You've got to do what you got to do.
There it is.
Yeah.
And so I understand that. I mean, people still think it's crazy when I tell them my sister and I used to walk home. She was in kindergarten. I was first grade. Home from school.
Did they key? Unlike the door. Alicia, you said yours was right here? I was short, remember?
See, I've been.
The bolt lock was up there. I'd be about to hang myself.
But we walked in and waited
Yeah.
a couple hours until Mommy came home. And as we got older, you better make sure that the chicken was defrosted.
Girl, yes,
The
we had
kitchen
the
was
same
clean.
life. You didn't have
Everything
that.
No, I
was-
didn't have that.
Yeah, okay.
Stay at home mom.
The blessings.
Sound.
Yeah, didn't sound the blessings. But
I'm learning more and more about this thing right here.
But it's not a bad thing. But it's
not.
a
It's
blessing.
It is.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so I think that's also an important thing to also understand. Some folks had the ability to do so. Some parents didn't. And so there's beauty in all of it. And I think learning from all those experiences will help you as a parent understand if there's anything that you can possibly do to help your child, do it.
Yeah, I want Leo to share. I don't know what it was like. Let's look at Leo.
Thanks.
So I had mother and father. They were married, but there was an expectation to go to school. And where I'm from, country, rural, so there was nothing else to do. So I look forward to going to school. Even though I didn't really care for school, but I look forward to going to school to get out of the house.
There you
So
go.
that was and research states that the more absences you have, you're least likely to graduate and drop out.
Yeah.
That is absolutely correct. Absolutely. So, but what was it like coming home to like your parent being there?
Oh my God! So my father worked, my mother stayed at home mom. So it was. I mean, I came home. Meals were made. We had conversations. We would talk. Help me with my homework.
Yeah.
Send it to my aunt's house.
Yeah.
So listen, Dr. Ada. Yeah. So yeah, I mean.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it worked.
Yes,
It
thank
worked
you,
for
thank
me.
you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, she said you better have the research. Yes, I love it. So indeed, so that's beautiful. That's not everybody's life.
Yeah.
It was not my life.
Yeah.
Wasn't Dr. Ada's life. But if it can be your child's life, but you gotta have a plan.
Exactly.
Yes.
You gotta have a
And
plan.
expectations. Yeah.
Yes.
So what was it like for you guys? I know you
Like she
touched
said.
on some just.
I mean, from a
This is
young age,
expectation.
first, second, third grade, you better have that chicken defrosted. When we got a little bit older, you better start cooking something. The house had to be clean.
Mhm.
Make sure your homework was done. So by the time Mommy came home, if she had to cook, it was minimum, and then we ate.
That was it.
So that was just a level of responsibility that
That's it.
we were thrusted into. But education, like you said, was, it was an expectation. That was our job.
Yeah.
Was school.
Yeah.
Everything else was extra. So I was telling them I didn't miss not one day of school from K through 12, except for 1 week when I had the chicken pox in 7th grade, and I was devastated.
Mm.
It's hard to miss. I mean, when
Oh, God.
when it's the expectation,
Yeah.
missing school. And
Fear of missing out.
Right. And that's what it was for us, because the conversations at recess time, the different things that would happen. And then for me, if I didn't go to school, I couldn't go to sports.
Oh.
No, I don't know if that's still a thing today, but
it is. That's an incentive.
When I coach, you miss 2 days of school. You can't play today. Oh, come on, coach. You miss school.
That's
you
right.
cannot play.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And unfortunately, that's long, so we'll take care of that one later. But yes, you have to. You parents. So when we talk, coaches, you can't play. I remember I couldn't go to practice, so now I'm nervous because I can't even start because I missed a thing. So if I had a headache or whatever, I needed to miss a test and take it the next day. That was real rare because you miss that one practice, then you get talked about by your coaches when you get there.
9 times out of 10 it's before a really important game or whatever that is.
No, I scheduled mine. Don't worry.
Okay.
I was not real important games. Listen, get ready for that test. Make sure you practice because mommy. So for me, I walked in and we had to get dinner ready, had to cook or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to go to practice. Got to get ready to go to practice. So I'm also thinking, I got to study. I got to get homework done.
Oh, yeah.
The siblings are going to be in, and when they get in, they got to get stuff done and together too. So all of these different steps. I had to call for a ride to get to practice because mom still wasn't home, right? When we got older and got into activities, and then it was, we'll get on that bike. Get on that bike. Oh, I got to ride all the way across town. So again, time. Everything happens. It's timed, right? When we talk about our parents, we're talking about our families and the way that we were brought up. What about you? What does it look like? Now, we're not saying that our whole households were perfect.
No.
It was us.
Yeah.
It brought us to where we are now. What is it? Mommy, daddy, grandma, whomever you are, but you're the child's caregiver.
Yeah.
Right? They're depending on you to ensure their success. What is it that you are doing or that you have done to make sure that they are going to reach the level, or matter of fact, do better than you did?
Yeah.
Because that's always the expectation, right?
Yes.
That we do better than our parents.
Yeah.
And we've arrived at a space. Now, I'm not telling you that our lives are perfect, but we've gotten at least to this space, right? In this space, we arrived because our folks
trained us. I mean,
That's
come on.
it.
They set expectations and no excuses, right? Unless,
don't make excuses, make it happen.
Figure it out. Actually, no, figure it out. You're going to do this. And I feel like as my parents gave me the confidence to push through things, but I don't see that nowadays a whole lot.
Right. There's always the opportunity to,
Okay.
you don't have to. There's always an opt out.
Yeah.
Always. Well, I didn't want him to. If he didn't feel like, I didn't want to force him. Wait, what?
He didn't feel like it.
He didn't feel like it, and I didn't feel like dealing with that. You didn't? Right? Perseverance. I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't feel like it?
It's scary.
So what is your expected outcome when you don't feel like it? Do you think that far? I talked about active involvement, and we talked about being key kids. I still remember the days when mommy picked me up. I was excited when mommy showed up to pick. Yes, that was like the most fantastic. I don't have to walk home in the cold. It was wonderful, right? I get to get in the car and we're gonna go wherever, the possibility of a McDonald's.
Yeah.
That was always a possibility. Ooh. Or Cheryl's. We used to go to Cheryl's. We had Cheryl's when we lived. That was a strawberry banana milkshake. Don't worry about that. They don't make them like that anymore. But but there, mommy's here. I don't have to. There was no more worry. Mommy is here. Active parent involvement. Even if you got to work, I knew the phone, that big yellow phone was there. You said yours was red.
It was red.
And we knew, and your mommy was already there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that feeling? Or maybe you remember the feeling of them not being there.
Yeah. I like her statement. The problem a lot of students don't have is that adult model to support them as we did. And, coming from the healthcare practitioner side, I don't see it a whole lot in our practice, but just communicating with other parents, there are some parents who just are checked out.
But why? Why are so we're looking at this information, talking about reasons why children are missing so much school. Okay, we do research. There are people all over the place who are doing this research because, gosh, I've been looking at this since 2011, where there was a story about a mom who she passed away in jail because her penalty for her children being truant was fees or jail time.
Wow.
But she had health conditions. Her husband had health conditions, so he had passed away. And so it was just her, and they had not put structures and strategies in place. They were not there, right? And so mom wound up having to go to jail to pay which was her fine for her children not being in school. I mean, they're being ridiculous. What are your children doing when they're not in school? We know the one kid, he was terrorizing school systems all over multiple states. But she went to jail, and then the kids got a call that their mom had passed away in jail because they would not go to school. I wonder where they are now. And today there are so many. There are fees. There is jail time. All these. It's a civil case. It is a civil case. And what we found that there are so many. Illness is a main barrier for why kids are missing school, whether it's their parents or it's them. But the law says send your kids to school.
I remember back in the day, we went to school when we were not feeling the best. 9 times out of 10, by lunch, you're good, right? Mm-hmm. Nowadays, I have parents asking for a doctor's note. No. Doctor, no. No, parents, teach your kids it's going to be okay. They got this note. As long as they don't have a fever and they're not contagious, they will be fine. Give your kids the tools that they need to succeed, because when we're reading some of the research, when I saw that illness, now there's 2 parts. Sometimes a lot of parents use illness as an excuse.
An excuse.
When it's really not an illness. It could be maybe mom and dad didn't have any gas to take the kid to school. Right?
We read that. I saw that information.
Yeah,
right.
So it's like, oh my gosh, they don't have the resources to get to school. And then it shows up as a status illness, but is it really?
Right, because they didn't make a plan. Now, I did read a Facebook post the other day that a mom was like, this and that and this, didn't have gas to put in my car to take my kids to school, and somebody helped her. Yeah.
So, yes.
People helped. She asked for help. She got help.
Yeah.
Okay, she asked for it in advance, so I'm going to give her a prop. So she wasn't like, oh, we just hadn't been. She didn't do that. She was being proactive. That I celebrate, right? You got to make a plan, work the plan. That's what I always say, right? No excuses. Don't make excuses. Make it happen, right? Right. So, these folks are wearing me out.
No, but it's true.
Right, it is. But so I celebrate this mom. But then there are some folks who just lay around, girl, I didn't even have, I'm going to make it happen. Yeah, understand, I've been doing this work for a long time. I've been a parent empowerment specialist, training parent advocates for like 10 years, something like that. I don't know, since 2017. And I've heard so many stories. I've been in education for coming up on 30 years. When I mimic these things, it's not because I'm making it up, it's because it's happened. Tell your friends, encourage them. Don't be like that.
And something I want to say is when Dr. Ada and Takesha Michelle said that, I think there's an article that came out yesterday about how mental health of the children and the parents, there's a correlation.
Yeah. And
something I think about is spiritual, but we're not conformed to the ways of this world, but we're transformed by the renewing of our mind. So our mindsets, and go back to that old way, which is that it takes a village.
Yes. Because,
okay, if you have gas in your car, but if you have a village, you have a people, if you have a support cast, then you can have somebody help you out and assist you. So I just think some of those components those values and morals that we had, I think we're losing those along the way. So I think we need to get back to those, especially for our children.
Yeah.
And something else I think about, so they're not going to school, what does that look like when they get to the workforce?
Ooh, I can't wait till we get talk about that.
You hit on two
yeah.
key points because, I'm always having conversations, especially with my parents that have older kids, because I want to pick their brain. But the morality part about it, in creating a tribe, is so important. So yes, I did walk to school in blizzards and stuff, but we also I grew up in a neighborhood where we had lots of kids the same age. So if Jamie's dad took us to school every day, if you were at their house by 7:15, if you were there at 7:20, you walked into school. But if you were there by 7:15, you had a ride.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? So creating that, plan ahead of time, I knew, okay, if I'm running late, I'm
gonna be walking.
But if I got to school on time, I got a ride. Right? So that is huge. That moral part is super important, because I feel like we've lost our sense of morality when it comes to adults, right? Mm-hmm. And our kids see that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's where you lose that authority.
Y'all talking about all of this stuff? Yes, I want to just delve into all of it. The authority.
We listen.
Yeah.
I love it. Man, your authority, mommies, daddies, your kids, they're watching you.
All the time.
This is why the engagement is imperative. Do you understand me? Understand us. The engagement is so imperative. They're watching. They need you to be there. They need you to tell them no. Mm-hmm. They need you to tell them, get that done. They need you to encourage and instruct them. They need the same education and empowerment that we offer to you. Why are we offering it to you? Because we see what's happening. Yeah. We see the deterioration.
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
We see it.
We see it, yeah.
Right? And of course, as I always say, children are a manifestation of what's happening at home. And what we see in schools, you can go online. I'm not just talking about here. Remember that. Across the nation, across the world, I'm going to stay in the nation, because in the world, in some of the spaces, these people are like, oh no, you will not be like Western culture.
Yeah.
That is what they say. They don't even want their kids like us. They don't want them listening to the things we listen to. They don't want them. They'll create the things for us to engage in, but they don't want their kids engaged in it. Mindset. Mm-hmm. Mindset shift. Parents, you have authority, and your authority is weakened. Right? If you don't put structures and strategies in place and have a sense of control even when you are not present. Does that mean, just because I talk about control when you're not present, that does not mean that we want you to not be present. That means that in those instances, when you are unable to be present, then there is a control because you have established those structures and strategies.
That healthy fear.
Right, the healthy fear. I'm glad you said that healthy fear, right? Yeah. Right? Because then you don't want them to be sad all the time. They're literally sad when you can't be there. When you say, I don't know if you remember, or that rundown, is your mom coming? Because my mommy couldn't come.
Yeah.
She couldn't be there.
Went till high school that they could come to something.
Right, and so, is your mom coming? Oh, so-and-so's mom will be there, my mom not going to be there. Just understand that. But you had to own it. That doesn't mean it was great. Yeah. But it was like, well, we always know we'll see so-and-so's mom. We always know we'll see Leo's mom. Mm-hmm. We always know, we always know we'll see those folks. When can you be there? When can you be there? In the nighttime? Can you at least be on like a Zoom or something? How can you be actively involved? Because what we don't want is we don't want the children to be struggling. Sometimes they act a fool just so you come.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah. I have to, I get to. Yeah.
That's the only way that I'm going to get attention from my parents is if I clown. If I do that, they're coming. They may fuss. I may get a whooping, whatever that may look like, but they're coming. They'll be there.
Think about that mindset. They're willing to risk being punished for your presence.
Ooh.
Wow.
Say it again, Dr. Ada. They are what?
They are willing to risk
Being punished for your presence.
like that. I know, as a parent, I'm like, oh no, I don't want my baby. No.
Right. Do you want that for your child? For your children? Is that okay to you?
And I like that. I get to go watch my child, or, you know, shifting that mindset. That's really good, Yolanda. Yeah. But yeah, that triggered me. You know, when you talk about kids who have behavioral issues in school, and they know they're doing wrong. They know they're acting out, but they want some sort of attention. And so what's happening at home to where they're not getting it? Are we that checked out? And I get it. You know, they know I work my tail off, and then we go pick up baby. Sometimes she's sitting at the dinner plate and I'm mowing the lawn. Right? But I make sure that I try to be as intentional as possible with my time with a child that you chose to put on this earth. For most folks, right?
I'll address that later.
Okay.
Keep watching.
Yeah.
Because
So
some
back to the
choices.
truancy. So I have
Yes.
questions as teachers, educators. What do you see in the types of kids that are either late all the time or are absent? How does that affect the class? And then how do you see that translate to them as adults, functioning adults in society? They've created these habits as kids, right? Parents have enabled it. I'm just being honest. And now they're adults and they've been pacifying this whole time, being late or absent, and now they have to work real jobs, or they had to go to college, and they're used to being late or absent all the time. How does that translate? What do you see as
I'll let you go.
now?
I'll let you go.
And how does that translate to adulthood?
I think far as the class wise, so because teachers have a routine and a structure, so it can throw off the class and whatever the information is being taught at the beginning, the child has missed it, especially if he's coming in late constantly. He or she is coming in late constantly, and then it almost comes off as the entitlement phase. So when you get to the workforce, you want something, but you're not willing to do nothing to get something.
Woo!
So that's something I see.
Yeah.
Something I see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that. Listen. That's accurate. And if we consider, you see how many businesses are closing?
Yeah, because
Come on.
people don't want to
Yeah.
work.
And to go back to the workforce, and to go back, talk about the school-wise, those students that have a lot of absence, it affects their reading, their math, and their English language arts test scores. So you're talking about being in the workforce, but are you competent enough to do the job that you're equipped
In
to
the
do?
first place. Yeah.
Y'all, yes. Listen, I'm loving these folks who are chiming in. Absolutely. The rest of you, yes. Please chime in, share your thoughts, your suggestions. Listen, you can do it here, you can do it whenever I put this on YouTube later. Share this, tag somebody. This conversation is serious. Listen, I'm sitting here and I want to just go for all of the things. We cannot stay on here with y'all forever. Excuse me, but there is so much really good stuff here to unpack. Dr. Ada, listen, so going back to that time part, so the lack of a predictable schedule.
Yeah.
Children need consistency. When
Yes.
I talk about structures and strategies, and that's what we do as parent advocates, we help parents create those routines.
Yes.
Right? We help that happen. But if we don't, or if you don't, what are some of the reasons why? And we talked about earlier, I don't know if we said it here, but we were talking about the nutrition component, which shows up in the research that oftentimes kids don't go to school because they're sick, their parents are sick, their parents need them to take care of a sibling or a child. Again, we understand you gotta go to work. But come on now. We gotta plan. We gotta change our mindset. Talk about that nutrition. What can we do? What can parents do differently?
Yeah. So let's talk about the health aspect of it, because we're going through this right now. Baby girl's in a new school where she's got to eat breakfast at home before we leave. I've got to pack a lunch now, so she's got a little lunch box. Yeah, 2.5 years old. So it's a thing. And so now I have to adjust my time at night. We prep, right? Each close out. All right, what's going to be for breakfast? What are we going to do for lunch? I have to wake up a little bit earlier, right? Because now I got to cook breakfast for baby girl, because where she was at before, she ate breakfast. And my baby's kind of bougie. She don't eat sandwiches and Lunchables and stuff like that. Essie wants to sit down and open up her little thing and eat a hot hot meal. So I have to cook lunch and put it in a heat thermos to send with her to school. So it's that prepping. But what people don't realize, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Tell them why. Dr. Ada, tell them, because the research keeps changing. So help the people.
It changes as you mature in age. For kids, they need the calories. They need the protein. Their brains are still developing. They need the nutrients so that they can actually pay attention. They need the healthy fats, right? Because your brain is, 78% fat. And so you got to feed the fat so that the fat helps you translate information, right? You need the protein to break down.
Healthy, please stop giving us Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, don't even get me started. But no, kids need to break their fast in the morning so that they have enough nutrients and brain power to absorb the information given to them at school, right? So as an adult, I break my fast around 1 p.m. because my neurons are pretty much well developed, and I would hope, but my blood sugar is to where it's healthy enough to where I don't need food first thing in the morning. Like my body still functions, but I'm an adult. I won't tell you how old I am, but I am 40 plus. I know I don't look like it, but I am, right? But kids need to break their fast with very specific food. So one, thank you, breaking your fast. You're sleeping, so you're fasting, but healthy fats and protein. This is not cereal.
It's sugar.
Cereal breaks down into sugar, so now you're teaching your kid to be a sugar burner. So then they're in their first period class hyper, but the problem with that is sugar high, sugar low crash.
Yeah.
Right? And if your child doesn't eat a healthy enough lunch or eat lunch or whatever kind of lunch, it's not sustainable. So by afternoon, they're gone. They're gone. So it's important breaking the fast, but you got to train your kids to eat a healthy enough breakfast, but it comes from parents because what are you eating or what are you not eating?
And then we talked about that in our introduction about parents. If you're not well,
you can't expect your child to, in the morning, we give, Mommy, can I have some water and milk? Yes, with your breakfast, right? You got to train your kids the way you want them to be, but you're the prime example, right? But I can't stress you guys how important breaking your fast is for your children. Adults, we're going to do a workshop on that later on, but for your kids, parents, what you feed your kids is so important. Cereal's not enough. Oatmeal, I know it was a staple in our home, but that's on the weekend. That's not enough brain power for kids, right? Apple a day keeps the doctor away. Bananas, fruit, right?
Yeah.
Even if you have to pop in an Eggo waffle with just crack a hard-boiled egg or egg, some sort of protein, fat, then a carb, in that order.
Wow.
Will help sustain your child so they actually feel well, because a lot of kids don't even feel good. So how would you expect them to want to go to school and participate when they don't feel good? They don't have any nutrients. Your child is sitting there malnourished and they're trying to learn 2 + 2. That's not going to happen.
And Cheez-Its will not solve the problem in the middle of the day.
No, neither will the Snickers bar or the Gatorade or whatever. And I get it. Socioeconomic, because that was another barrier that they had listed, which is we're being real, right? Because we do serve a population that may not, but you can still prep. It's probably not going to be organic, but you can still, the eggs, the sausages, healthy meat. So baby girl, we're bougie. We do a little bit of beef, egg, and a waffle in the morning. And people are like, you give your baby meat? Yes, protein.
Yeah, I wonder why my child acted, but we didn't do meat when he was little.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
it's okay. He found a lot of it soon thereafter.
That's a whole nother conversation. But your kids need the food. They need the nutrition. They need the brain power. If you expect your child to desire to even want to be at a place like school, you got to feed them healthy food. So many kids are malnourished, and I see this in practice, especially with families who start with this in the beginning. And I have a conversation. Okay, I'm starting to see some things that I'm concerned about: the dark circles, or the fatigue, or the behavioral issues. We have a lot of kids that are very hyperactive. And for a lot of kids, it's lack of nutrients, and then you feed them something on the way to wherever, and so now their kids are sugar burners, and they're always hyper because of the foods that contain the dyes.
Takis.
Oh.
We're not. Can we,
Cheetos,
can we not go
red
there?
red Cheetos.
We have to go there.
Stop
right
by.
now.
Listen, we know, but he asked me for them. She said she wanted some, and she's a pretty good kid.
That's not a reward. Poor quality food parents. Oh, let me hop on my soapbox. Poor quality food should not be a reward for your child. It's actually going to hurt your child in the long run. Rewarding great kids, find another way. Give them, a couple coins and dollar bills. Time with you.
Right, because if you give them the $2 to $5 that it costs for that bag of chips,
Give them that.
they can go buy what can they buy on the computer, on the thing?
But teaching your kids to reward themselves with poor quality foods translates into adult life. So then now, I got this. Let's go eat the worst food possible that will decrease your life expectancy. So let's find other ways to reward your child besides unhealthy foods. And I get it. You want your kids to enjoy life, but there's other ways to enjoy life than poor quality foods because you're damaging their brain by the chemicals and the food dyes and the things like that, which results in them not desiring school and learning because there's no nutrients in those things.
Absolutely. And you all, listen, we know. We already talked about it. I grew up, we had for real food stamps. Y'all get this whole cool card. We had colorful money.
I remember what they looked like.
And we had to go to the store with that colorful money and let all the people. And then I also had special tickets for lunchtime.
I had the tickets.
The special ones, the ones that says that
Oh.
you are those ones. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Yes,
Sorry.
those were the ones that says that I forget what. Ultimately, that my mom didn't have to pay all of the money. That the government helped pay some of the money for.
Okay.
That was me. So don't look at me talking about some. But you. Yes, I did raise my children lower middle class, but I didn't grow up lower middle class. Understand that. So, but. Mommy made sure we had baked potatoes.
Yeah.
We had bacon sausage. We had a multitude of eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, so all of the things, if you make the time, understand me. Now then, back then too, when we had breakfast and lunch at school, they made like for real breakfast and lunch. I don't know what this stuff is now.
Don't even get me started on that. My mom, she's retired but still helps out at school. And the food that they are now authorized to give kids it's basically donuts and sugar.
It is. But guess what, parents? Guess what's not going to happen? It won't change if you don't say something. You've got to be actively involved if that's going to change. Your children are literally eating donuts for breakfast. Donuts and Pop-Tarts, which are carbs and sugar, just a bunch of sugar. White sugar, refined white sugars, and all of these. I've been with Dr. Ada for a little while, and I'm just waiting for her to tell me if I'm wrong or not. But right now, she's at I'm right. Just yeah. And then you send them with a bag of Takis, and you say, "I didn't tell them to get the Takis." You were not in control because you gave them money, and they stopped at the store, and they got a bag of Takis. So you're not in control. They are.
Yeah.
So I say to you, actively involved. We can't stay on here forever. We try. We would love to because we have so much more. But we're gonna be back. Not next Thursday, but the following Thursday. I don't know. I kind of like this live thing.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful.
I do too, but I mean, we're still going to put it on, so you'll get to look at it again and get the information and check it out on our YouTube pages when Dr. Ada eventually gets all of her stuff together. It's okay. We're going to make it work. She keeps adjusting people and growing her business and junk, and it's really wonderful, and we're excited about it. If you would like a parent advocate, if you would like to have parent advocates trained in your space, if you would like myself and or Dr. Ada to come and share with you about health and nutrition, about parent empowerment, less stress and more control, reach us right here on Facebook. It's going to be on the Education Inside Out page. Dr. Ada will have it on her Innate Health page. Y'all, we are here to help you. We cannot see the other umpteen messages there, but we will read them and we will give you all some responses. We're serious about this. Yeah. We want to help you because we do. The children are our future. Whitney Houston, she said it, right? Whitney said it.
Yes.
She did.
They're our future. Yeah. And if we do not, as adults, this is why Education Inside Out is here to help parents. Because that's the only way I know how to help kids.
Yeah.
Because you can spinning your wheels helping them, and then they go back home to the foods that they eat. They go back home to parents who who ultimately oftentimes allow them to sit on video games, which we've already talked about, or sit on their cell phones. We want to help. We want you to change your mindset. We're not coming for you and trying to degrade you. That is not our objective. Our objective is to simply empower you, which is why this is parent empowerment for everyday living. We love your children. We love you. How can you do that? You don't even know me. Because you're human beings and you're a part of the world that we live in, and this is what we're all about. So hear us from our heart. We talk about it, we say it in jest sometimes, but we're serious about what we're saying, and we just really want to encourage you, educate you, and empower you for the sake of your children.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and close out for today. We are... Where are you going? You can't go yet. We are... He was ready. He's ready. I love it because he's looking. We are Takesha and Leo with Dr. Ada. And we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Please share, like, turn on your notifications, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.